The continuance of one country, two governments. Hong Kong and China were separated from 1841 to 1997 by the British. In that time, Hong Kong culture was heavily influenced by Western ideologies, the government became democratic, and the people of Hong Kong received more freedoms than their mainland counterparts. China, however, has been trying to cut down these freedoms and reunify Hong Kong and the mainland under one country, one government. Hong Kong should keep its special administrative region status indefinitely due to the cultural differences, vastly different government systems, and economic advantages that it provides to China. The civil unrest between mainland China and Hong Kong has been going on since Hong Kong was turned over to China. In the last few years, China has sped up the reunification of Hong Kong and the mainland, despite public outcry. Hong Kong has been having protests since it was handed over to China, and these protests have only become bigger since China has began imposing new security laws on Hong Kong. The people of Hong Kong have felt their freedoms dwindle as democratic politicians have been arrested, access to information has been limited, and a greater presence of mainland China in the Hong Kong government has been felt. Many of the young people, those of Generation Z, say that in 2047 our freedom will become nothing in Hong Kong. It's time for China to stop meddling with the people of Hong Kong, as every time they do, it only causes the tension between the two to grow. The governing systems of Hong Kong and China are opposites, typically viewed as natural enemies. Hong Kong has a democratic government that gives more freedom to its citizens, while the communist government of mainland China seems to not offer as many. While there are two separate governments, mainland China does hold an upper hand, as the Sino-British Treaty of 1984 says that Hong Kong will exist as a special administrative region of China, where China and Hong Kong will exist as one country, two governments till 2047. This treaty is the reason that Hong Kong was able to keep its freedoms, but it still is watched over by the Chinese government. China, however, has been overstepping its boundaries according to the Sino-British Treaty. Its claims of civil unrest only come after it tries to impose laws that give the mainland more power in Hong Kong, even though they are supposed to act as two separate government entities. China has shown time and time again that it is willing from to break the one form of legislation that returned Hong Kong to the country, giving Hong Kongers no trust in the Chinese government and continuously eroding possible relations between the two entities. With Hong Kong being a global city, it gives China an opportunity to exchange goods and services with the rest of the world that would have been more difficult if it didn't exist. Many Chinese companies have a presence in Hong Kong in order to make transactions easier. Hong Kong allows for all forms of currency to be used simultaneously, and its primary forms of currency are the Hong Kong dollar and the Chinese yuan. Many believe that you cannot maintain Hong Kong's international financial standing while stifling its freedom. If the Chinese government ends the one country, two government system, many foreign investors will relocate to other cities in Asia, as the lack of freedoms the Chinese policy grants foreign companies is unappealing. This will not only cause Hong Kong to lose its status as a financial hub of the world, but for mainland China, it will lose any financial benefits that the city brought to the mainland. Hong Kong and China will never be able to merge with each other to form one country, one government. With almost 200 years of separation and being influenced by different cultures and governments, they cause too much tension with each other. By keeping Hong Kong's special administrative region status, the two entities have a symbiotic relationship where they can both prosper and avoid conflict with each other.